Alright guys, we're going to get started. This is the Team Intentionally Inspired team call for today is January 20th, 2016. So welcome for everybody that's on. We're going to talk about a few things. First thing I want to talk about is Team Cup. If you don't have a team for February Team Cup, you need to make sure you get one. You're really going to find a lot of growth in Team Cup. The last time we had a tournament like this, it was Fall Classic in November, and it was one of the best months that I've had in Beachbody, and there's just something about this competitive spirit that really drives coaches to be their best and push themselves and their businesses and find out exactly what they're capable of doing. So if you don't have a Team Cup team, post in the team page, and I will be happy to find you one. The next thing I want to talk about is something that you guys might want to take notes on if you have notes. This is called 10 in play. This is something that I just learned about, and this is something that's really going to help your business. So as Beachbody coaches, we're told to do, they recommend that we do 3 invites a day. And 10 in play is something where you want to have a list of 10 people that you're actively engaging in, not just conversation, but you've shared a third-party tool. So you've shared a link, or you've shared a video, or you've had them in a sneak peek to your challenge group or the coaching opportunity group. This is something where they're either close to saying yes or they're close to saying no. So for 10 in play, it's a list of 10 people, and for my 10 in play, let's see if I can find the page. I have it. All right. So here's my 10 in play. It's actually a list that's more than 10 because I have names that are crossed out, and as I cross out a name, I always make sure to add a name. So these are people that I'm following up with every 48 to 72 hours, and I'm saying, hey, Leslie, it was nice to talk to you last time. I was just wondering if you had a chance to check out that video. I really don't want you to miss the opportunity to fill up or to get in this group, and the group is filling up, so spots are limited. I want to make sure you get your opportunity, something like that. And that's something that you're going to follow up with them every 48 to 72 hours. Now remember, when you're reading GoPro and you're listening to GoPro, all of the professionals tell you that in network marketing, they need to have somewhere around 5 to 7 exposures before these people are going to say yes. So you're going to want to expose yourself to these people 5 to 7 times and make valuable conversation with these people for 5 to 7 times before if you get it after the second exposure, that's fantastic, but the average is 5 to 7 times, so you want to get these 5 to 7 exposures in, so you're following up every 48 to 72 hours with these people. Use coachingcodes.com. Coachingcodes.com is a really great resource where you get to put your coach ID number in. You can put your coach, not just your coach ID number, but your coach ID, and then it allows you to use your own videos that Beachbody provides for you to give your customers a look into something. So I had somebody, I sent her a link for the 21-day fix, and I got on the next morning and I noticed she signed up for a club membership, and she did it through me, through the link that I sent. So they're able to look at our Beachbody website to check shop and check out the products and everything and purchase stuff if they want. I do typically tell people, here's a video, make sure not to purchase before you talk to me though, because I always like to make sure I can get everybody the best prices, because there's always a bunch of different ways that you can choose to enroll. So 10 in play is a huge thing. This is 10 people all the time. You're going to have a list of 10 people going. When you first start, your list may not be large, and that's okay, because this is more about planting seeds than it is anything else. You want to make sure you're planting these seeds and you're helping to cultivate them and you're growing them into a yes. Keep in mind, Beachbody says they want us to change the lives of 3 people every month. I don't feel that it needs to be done through challenge pack sales. I think that anybody that we get a club membership for who maybe can't afford a challenge pack and we get them into our challenge groups, that is somebody whose life we can potentially change. I have 4 people right now that have club that couldn't afford the challenge pack, but they wanted to make a difference. 3 of the 4 of them are actively logging in their food logs and are actively doing the workouts. So these are the people that you want to help. You are planting the seeds with a club membership, and you're seeing how much they want to make a change. So they're getting their 30-day club membership, and if they're really doing the workouts and they're seeing a difference, maybe they're saving their pennies and now they're going to buy a challenge pack from you at the end of the 30-day trial because they know they've only got 30 days. What are they going to do after that? So 10 and play. It's a big thing. I want to see you guys do your 10 and play lists, and I want to see them. I want to see that you guys are putting this into practice. Remember, those of you that have been with us a little bit longer and are a little bit more experienced with coaching and have your own teams, your teams are going to look up to you. So you need to be setting a good example for your team. And even if you aren't a team leader at this point, but you see yourself being a team leader, the best way to become a team leader is to act like a team leader. I think that about covers it in 10 and play. Did anybody have a question about 10 and play? Okay, moving on. Tonight's main topic. And like I said, I'm going to try to keep this short tonight, so this may only be another 10 minutes or so, but tonight's main topic is the topic of fear. I had somebody say to me today they didn't think they would be a good coach. They're not good at promoting, or they're too fat. I had two people tell me today that they didn't think they would make a good coach. One said she's not skinny enough, she's too fat, and the other one said she's just afraid that she wouldn't be very good at it. And fear really has this ability to dictate our actions, but it doesn't have to. You guys, fear is a choice. We choose to be afraid of things. And the crazy thing about fear is just something that we have in our head that may or may not happen. So it's not even something that's happening right now. You're afraid of failing, or you're afraid of inviting, or you're afraid that you won't be a good coach. These are all things that are in the future. These aren't even things that are in the present. So you need to work on drowning out your fears. I remember when I was a kid, we have this little amusement park in Rochester, and it's called Seabreeze. And there's a big for me it was big, there's this wooden roller coaster called the Jackrabbit. I'd never been on a roller coaster before, and I remember I was with my friend at the time, Colleen, and my dad would walk us through the line. We'd get to the Jackrabbit, we'd get to the seat, and we'd get our turn in line, and we'd get in the seats, and I would always chicken out, and I'd walk right through. And I think I did it that day 5 times before I finally got up the nerve. I think Colleen actually went through first so that I couldn't walk through her. I finally got up the nerve to ride the roller coaster, and I rode it, and I think I rode it another 6 times in a row. Because I was so scared, and I was letting the fear stop me, but then I didn't let the fear stop me anymore. I forced myself to face that fear, and I rode that roller coaster, and I loved it, and I continue to ride and love roller coasters today. In fact, when we were at Disney a couple weeks ago, I said to myself so many times when we were on rides, I just closed my eyes, I took a big deep breath, and I said, be brave. So this is what I'm asking of you guys. I'm asking you guys, when you find yourself being afraid of something, close your eyes, take a really, really deep breath, and say to yourself, be brave. I want you guys to ride that roller coaster. That roller coaster, it's a scary roller coaster to ride, absolutely. But what's more scary? Being afraid to actually take that step, or missing out on what you could get out of that just because you were too scared to try it. So be brave and face those fears. It's so much easier for you guys to say you're not going to do something because you're afraid of the outcome than to actually do it. It's just like it's so much easier to sit your tail on the couch and not work out than actually get up and work out. So push yourselves, get these things done, and you're going to start to see big changes in your life because you're facing these fears, and these fears are all in your head. All right? They're not a reality unless you make them a reality. Fear is drama. How many of us have drama in our lives, and how many of us don't like drama? Every time we're letting a fear get the best of us in our lives, we are letting drama get the best of us. So be drama free. Face your fears. Tell yourself that you can get past it and put the drama aside. Once you find that you've actually gotten past this fear, you're going to see such a freedom, and you're going to feel such a freedom in your life. And you're going to say to yourself, look at that, I did it. That wasn't so bad. Maybe I'll go do it again. And then you're going to start to see these changes not only in your business but in yourself. You're going to start to face these fears, and you're going to start doing things that you never thought you could do. You're going to start to believe in yourself. And this is what I tell you guys all the time. I believe in you. You wouldn't be part of my team if I didn't believe in you. I truly think that you can do these things. I know you can do these things. The thing is, you need to realize that you can do these things. And when you realize that you can do these things, the opportunities are endless and the possibilities are endless. And you're going to grow as a person, you're going to grow as a team, you're going to find that you're changing more and more lives, and you're changing your own life first and foremost. So I was reading, or I was listening to a book on tape today, and they were talking about fear, and it's called "You Are a Badass" from Jen Sincero, and it's my favorite personal development book. I need to be told I'm a badass on a regular basis because most of the time I think I'm a badass, but every once in a while I forget and I need the reminder. So she gives me a good reminder. She said our greatest fears are our biggest wastes of time. When we sit and we worry about things, it's a waste of time. What are we worrying about? These things haven't even happened yet. By worrying, we're putting all of this negative energy into ourselves, into the universe, and you're not producing anything but more negativity and more worry. So don't waste your time. Nobody wants to be a time waster. Don't waste your time. Push yourself past that and really face those fears. And don't let the fears have power over you. You have to find a way to flip these fears and make them work for you. So here's when somebody says, I'm scared to invite people. Well, why are you scared to invite people? I'm afraid they'll say no. What happens if they say no? Well, I'll feel stupid. Well, what happens if you feel stupid? Well, then I'm going to be ashamed. What happens then? Well, then I just feel ashamed. But nothing has actually happened. Are you going to feel ashamed if you invite somebody and they say no? Or are you going to feel ashamed if you have these goals? You have these personal goals that you've set for yourself and you don't even try to reach them because you're afraid of feeling ashamed. Which is going to make you feel ashamed more. At least in one, you've given it a shot, right? And you're giving yourself the opportunity to fail forward. And I'll tell you, every no that you get is a little easier to hear than the one before that. So don't let fear guide you. It's the same thing with the coaching opportunity. And I still struggle with this, so don't think that I don't have struggles with fear because I do every day. But it's like you just have to hit send and then run away. So what I'll do a lot of times, if I send somebody like a coaching opportunity, there's one person in particular who I think he would make a phenomenal coach, but he's a friend and I enjoy talking to him, and I was afraid he was going to think that I was being too pushy by telling him that he would make a great coach. So one day I just said, I'm going to tell him. So I typed it all out and I said, I think you're going to be a great coach because you have a dynamic personality, you're very friendly, you love doing these programs, and yada, 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 yada. I hit send, and then when you slide it over to the side in the messages, it gives you an option to delete, or I think it says something about more. I always click on more and then I click on archive because it doesn't delete the conversation. And if you go back to their Facebook page and you click message, it'll pull the whole message up again. But I didn't want to see when he read it, so I posted that. I quickly swiped, I hit archive, and I ran away and I didn't think about it until he wrote me back and he goes, I'd been thinking about it. I had spent probably 3 weeks afraid to invite him to the coaching opportunity because I was afraid he wouldn't talk to me anymore. Well, really, would it be so bad if he didn't talk to me anymore? Do you want people in your lives that think you're pushy and, that are going to just wipe you from their life that easily because you invited them to something that's changed your life so significantly? So that's where I sent and ran. And sometimes you have to do that with these things. Sometimes you have to send and run. So I really want you guys to work this week on facing your fears. I want you to be doing your 3 daily vitals every day. And I know for me, my biggest one is the inviting. So when you're sitting down and you're doing your 3 daily vitals or your power hour, the first thing that I want you guys to do is I want you to get your invites out of the way. I don't want you to do your follow-ups first. I want you to do your invites first. And this is something that I'm going to start practicing because I always go right to the follow-ups. But the thing is, if you skip the follow-ups, if you skip the invites and you go to the follow-ups first, the follow-ups might take up so much time that you don't get the invites in. So you need to be getting these invites in. So you get your 3 invites in, or however many you said you were going to get done in the day, and then you go on to your follow-ups. Set yourself a timer. When you're inviting, you guys, you should be inviting from a script, and this is something that we're going to start to provide for you that we're working on right now, scripting. You need to be inviting from a script so that you can literally just copy and paste, and all you're doing is changing their name or a couple little details here and there. It's called a cold invite, and this is something that's really going to save time. So if you're inviting 3 people, you pick out your 3 people, you're going to their page, and then you're just going to copy and paste and do your cold invite. You're going to send and you're going to run. And then you're going to follow up in however much time. But you're not going to let fear stop you from inviting, and you're not going to let procrastination stop you from your inviting either, because the inviting is where your business is going to grow, and it's where it's going to give you the opportunity to help more people. So I really want you guys to be focusing on that. And the more you invite too, the more you're going to increase your 10 in play. So these things are kind of all intertwined. You can't let fear stop you from inviting. As you invite more, you're going to have more people on your 10 in play. The more people that you have working in your 10 in play, the more opportunity you're going to have to get yeses. Because remember, for every 10 no's, you're going to get 1 yes, which is why we say go for 100 no's. It's going to get you possibly 10 yeses in a month. And remember, your yeses don't have to be challenge packs. Your yeses can be Team Beachbody Club memberships. Your yeses can be people for the coaching opportunity. Your yeses can be just a simple program like the 21-day Fix or Size. So these are all opportunities where you can help people. I've changed my Go for No sheet, my 100 bubble sheet. And now I highlight everybody whose life I've changed, and it used to just be challenge pack sales. Now I'm highlighting everybody who gets a club membership and who's actively participating in my challenge groups. I'm not letting fear stop me anymore. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be a 5-star diamond coach at the end of the year. I'm going to be 2-star by Summit. These are my goals, and I'm not going to let fear stop me, and I really don't want fear to stop you guys. So if you have to make goals, if you haven't made goals, you have to make goals. So set your goals tonight. Set your goals tomorrow. Set your goals at least sometime within the next week and post them in the team page, because I want to see them. Make yourself accountable to these goals. Don't have secret goals. Secret goals don't keep you accountable. All right? Set goals so that everybody can know them, so that when you reach them, everybody knows about it. You feel good about yourself, and you're kept accountable for these goals, and you're not letting fear stop you. Anybody have any questions? I know we've got a big crowd tonight. All right, guys, so Team Cup. Oh, the other thing before we go, Punta Cana 2017. Registration is closed, but you can get on the wait list. I highly recommend getting on the wait list now, because the wait list is just going to continue to fill up. There were only 3,000 spots available, and they went within 10 minutes of registration. By signing up for the wait list, you're giving yourself the opportunity to, you're not 100% committing, so you're not paying that $300 for a year and 3 months from now. What am I going to be doing a year and 3 months from now? You're giving yourself the chance to say yes or no without having to pay the deposit until your name comes up on the wait list. So get on that wait list, because you don't want to regret it. You guys have any other questions? This was a nice short call. Leslie?
I have one that's kind of a personal, not personal, but Kelly she just texted me, and she's selling a challenge pack tomorrow. Okay. And I'd like some coach placement help for her.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know she's getting a little bigger.
Yeah, she is getting a little bit bigger. What does she have on her? This could help everybody else too, so I'm going to keep this live. Kelly is a new coach. She's been coaching for about a month and a half, I think, right, Leslie?
It ended November.
All right, so let's talk real quick, since it's been a short call. We'll talk about what she has. She's on top. What does she have on her right leg and her left leg? Let me see if I can pull it up.
She has her husband on her right leg.
Hang on one second. It's gonna. For those of you seeing the replay, it's gonna pull up on the screen until I can get it out of the screen. So give me 1 second.
Is there ever an easier way to see it? Because sometimes it's broken up onto 2 different screens.
No.
And it's
no, there's not an easier way to see it.
Oh, there she is. Okay.
All right.
It looks like she has Jillian on her left, Laura, And
right.
is Crystal hers?
Oh, hang on. If you go to your sponsorship drill down, you can kind of see it there too. So it looks like she's got. Oh my God, for her, without a question, because she's got 2 inactives on her left. I would put
They're
this.
supposed to go active.
Are we? Do we have confirmation of that?
I know at least one of them is. The
Okay.
other one has not got back to her, but I know at least one of them. It's supposed to ship on the 23rd.
Okay, so that's a conversation that she needs to have with her other 2 coaches. Her husband is on her weak leg, which is on her right, but she's got 2 inactive coaches on her left. So she lost her emerald rank because she doesn't have 2 active coaches on her left. So what she really needs to do is she needs to back up her left. She's not going to lose her right because that's her husband. So that account is going to stay there. So let's say she even only has one of her coaches that continues with the Shakeology because it's Jillian, I believe.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have a backup if Laura doesn't order Shakeology and cancels her account. So if she wants to really hold on to her rank, I would definitely put that on the left. That's going to give her 3 coaches on the left if the other 2 end up ordering Shakeology, but that's okay. She's not going to lose her right rank and or her coach on her right leg. Then the next coach that she signs can go under her husband, and then she's got more of an even setup there.
Okay. Do you know whose coach is the Crystal person, or can you see it?
Crystal's my new coach.
It's your coach, okay?
Yep.
Because I thought she signed a new coach the other day, and I don't see her.
She doesn't have another coach. She's only got 3 coaches. So you might want to. Yep, she's got 2 Success Club points, and she's got 3 coaches.
Okay, I'll ask her about that because she signed. She sent a link out anyway. Maybe they didn't pay.
Yeah, I would definitely have her touch base with that link.
Okay, so all right, so put her on the strong leg for tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep.
Anybody else have questions? I can do another coach placement question if somebody has it. You'd have to unmute yourself, though, because the other people are on phones and I can't see your faces. All right, nice short call. We're going to wrap it up then. Next week's team call is going to be a video. I did a Zoom call with the Northeastern Diamonds earlier today at 7 o'clock, so I was able to record that whole thing just like I record our conversations or our Zoom calls, and I did get their permission to share the video. So it's a little choppy because it was a last-minute recording, so just bear with us as you're watching everything. You will find out that it is it's all about scripting and how to talk to people and how to follow up, and I'm going to make all the scripts available for you guys, so this gives me a week to prepare all the scripts. So there will be no live team call next week. It is going to be a YouTube video. So if you guys have any questions, again, always feel free to drop them in the team page, or if you're not a part of Team Intentionally Inspired, then you can go ahead and just drop them in the YouTube video in the comments, and I would be happy to answer any of the questions that you have. So coach away, guys, and change lives. Have a great night.
Night.